Tom, you can hear me. So I'm not speaking to myself.
Yes, I can hear.
Yes, I can hear.
All right, thank you so much. So, like I said, our topic this morning is building a culture of accountability and ownership at work. That's creating a team that initiates, delivers results, and outcome. That's what I want to speak about today. First of all, I want to tell us the difference between accountability and ownership. Like, what's the difference between the two of them? First, accountability is taking responsibility for task action, results, even when things go wrong. That is for accountability. Then ownership is going beyond your assigned duties, taking and acting like the business is yours. That is just what ownership is. The key difference between these two is that ownership, you are proactive, while accountability, you are being reactive. And notwithstanding, the two are essential for you to be able to, for you to keep the organization culture going forward. Here are some signs of low accountability. These are ways where you know that you are not being accountable at your workplace. First, you always blame others for missed deadlines or mistakes. If you are this kind of person that at every given time, maybe something is going wrong, you are always wanting to point finger, oh, this is the person. You are always trying to push blames on other people. That is one of the signs of low accountability. Then another sign that I'm going to talk about is lack of follow-up or progress updates. Imagine you are working on a task and you don't even get to go back and ask, okay, what's the update on this? What is the progress? What's happening with this thing? You don't care. This I don't care mindset. That's another sign of low accountability at the workplace. Another thing is giving excuses over solution. When there's a problem, okay, maybe they come to you, your team lead, your mentor, or even management comes to you and they are trying to ask you something. Instead of providing a solution, you are giving excuses. Oh, I have too much workload. I have this, I have it. You are giving excuses instead of setting a solution to resolve that. That's another sign of low accountability. Then the next sign I'll be talking about is that this job is not my job mentality. I think this is something that I've really come across with a lot of people, right? Even before joining Bincom, you're always seeing people that when you tell them do this, they will go back to their JD, their job description, say, no, they did not say that I should change my seat during work hours, so I can't do that. That is also one of the signs of low accountability. Then another sign of low accountability is avoidance of responsibility in a group setting. Like among your team, they are trying to give you maybe a new task, add to whatever you are doing, and you are trying to avoid this type of responsibility. That is also a sign of low accountability. The next thing I'm going to talk about is why it really matters. Why do we really have to be accountable? Why do we have to take ownership in our workplace? We are all working at Bincom, right? So why does this thing really matter? Why do I have to be accountable? Why do I want to take ownership of my job? So here are some few reasons why we have to do so. First, we have higher team trust and morale. When you are accountable, people tend to trust you. Maybe your team lead call upon you to do a task, and you are somebody that is always accountable. You see that there is this trust, even when you say, sorry, I can't do this at this particular time, because you are somebody that is always accountable. You take ownership. You do this business like, oh, it's actually mine. That will help to build a team trust. Then another reason why we have to take accountability and we have to get this ownership mindset is that it helps for faster problem solving. When you have this ownership mindset and there's a problem in the organization, there's a challenge, and you have this ownership mindset, it helps to easily resolve this challenge. This mindset, it really enhances problem solving, this ownership mindset, because you are treating the business not as a staff or as an employee, you are treating it as if it is your own business. Then another reason why ownership and accountability mindset really matters is for better performance and reliability. When you have this mindset, it helps you perform better, and you tend to be more reliable in anywhere you find yourself when you have this mindset. And as somebody working in an organization, it is very important, because when your performance are better, you tend to get recommendation. People tend to recommend you, even something you might not even imagine that maybe there's a room outside workspace, there might be an opportunity somewhere, and somebody is saying, we need this person for this, because of your better performance, because of what you have been putting on ground, you are most likely to be recommended because you are very reliable. Then the last thing I'm going to talk about on why it really matters is leadership readiness at all levels. When you have this mindset of accountability, you always take responsibility, you have this ownership mindset, that means you are always ready to be a leader. Because without this mindset, I don't know how you can be a leader without having this mindset of ownership. Then the next slide I'm going to talk about is how to build it. There are different ways we can actually build this accountability mindset and ownership mindset. And I'm going to talk about a few of them. First is take initiative beyond your job description. Yeah, I talk about people going back. I've had this experience of people going back to their JD and saying that this is not my responsibility, or when you are being given extra tasks, say, I was not told this when I was joining. I usually have this challenge, especially with some volunteers. They'll be like, oh, my timing, I was told that I have to dedicate a particular time. So even when they are free and they have extra time they can spare, they will say, oh no, I have to just give like 1 or 2 hours a day. So I've exceeded that and I can't go beyond that. So it is very good and very important that you take initiative beyond your job description, beyond what you were told. That will give you this mindset of ownership and accountability. Then another thing, you admit mistakes and offer solution. This issue of admitting mistakes, some people find it very difficult. When there is an error, when something is going wrong, and maybe it might be from their team, it might be from their end. Even when it's from their team and you're asking them, they will go back and start pointing on a team member. No, it's because of Abraham, it's because of James that this thing went wrong. If the mistake actually came from your team, with the accountability mindset, you tend to admit it. And after admitting it, you think of, okay, how can this thing be resolved? What are the solutions to resolving this issue? That is one of the major ways to have this ownership and accountability mindset. And it is very important in the organization. It helps to keep this organizational culture together. So when you have this mindset of admitting mistakes, it might not be your personal mistake. It's a mistake of maybe from your team, even the organization generally. You might be in a position whereby you are relating with a client and you are the face the client is seeing. You are the person that is being assigned to work directly with that client. And maybe somebody from, let me just say, the infrastructure team made mistake with their email or something, or maybe there's a mistake that is affecting the client. Instead of you to take ownership, you say, no, it's not even my team. This mistake is from this team. This mistake is from that team. If you have this mindset of accountability, it is very important that you admit it. Oh, we are sorry. It might not really be you, but just a little, we are sorry. It has resolved that issue that must have maybe escalated and gone beyond hands, like it has gone beyond our control, right? Then the next thing is delivering consistently and communicate proactively. This one I'm going to break it down, because delivering consistently, if you have this mindset of ownership in any aspect, in anything you are doing, you tend to deliver your job consistent. You don't leave it on the ground. As an employee that is trying to build the organizational culture, that's trying to maintain a specific culture in an organization, it is very important that you deliver consistently. It's not that today we can say this person is good, they are already recommending you for something higher, and the next minute you are flopping, you are doing something contrary. So as a team member, as a part of the team, it is very important for you to be consistent in everything you are doing. Then this next one I'm going to talk about, communication. Ha. Communication, I was supposed to even use like a whole day to talk about communication, because it is very important in our organization. The way we present issue matters a lot. When you are being accountable for something, first of all, just think about the mindset, like, how do I communicate this thing? If an error is coming from your hands, instead of taking blame, there's a way you might communicate it and it might even escalate. And there's a way you might bring it up, and people, maybe whoever is handling the issue or management, they see that, okay, this thing, oh, this was a mistake from your end, but it won't happen again. Then talking about communicating proactively, sometimes the way we communicate might just, even as far as your tune, the tune at which you communicate something might matter what the what the outcome of that thing would actually be. So try to be accountable. While you are trying as much as possible to be accountable with in everything you are doing at every given time, it is also very important that you watch the way you are communicating. And also, when we're talking about communication, the channel at which you are communicating also matters a lot. Okay, let me assume there was a mistake. Let me just give an instance that, okay, something happened and probably you are giving a query. Instead of you to communicate through the right channel, you are communicating on maybe a WhatsApp message. The management is giving you a query, and maybe you are coming to Fejuro's WhatsApp DM to explain what really happened. That is not the right way to communicate, because other people might not tend to see, okay, what is happening. When you are communicating, you communicate through the right channel. While you are being accountable for whatever has happened, you are also making sure that your communication is going through the right channel. Then I'm going to give a scenario. We're going to tend to practicalize all what I have been saying by just giving an illustration. So let me go ahead and read the illustration. You were responsible for completing a part of a team project by a specific date, and you didn't meet the deadline due to poor management or underestimated time. So this is an illustration now. Just imagine we are handling a team project, and for some reason, maybe from your end, due to poor time management, you couldn't meet up with the deadline. And it has happened that, okay, the team or whatever we are doing, we've missed the deadline already. First, now, how do you become accountable? How do you show accountability in this kind of situation? First of all, rather than saying that, oh, some people, instead of even taking accountability or just owning up to this problem that came from their end, they'll start giving excuses. Some people can even give a million excuses for the reason why they missed their deadline. And probably it might be from their end or maybe different other issue. They'll start giving excuse that, oh, I had too many things to do, blah, blah, blah. Remember, when you have too many things to do, it is very important that you prioritize. A lot of people have this issue. Okay, now you have a lot of tasks on your desk. How do you tend to manage your time? It is when you prioritize these things that say, okay, this one is an emergency. It has a deadline to be submitted in a week time. You are leaving that one, you are trying to clear the draft of other tasks that are pending. And maybe those ones, their deadline are still a bit far. So that in this kind of scenario, that issue actually came out from your own end, from poor management, right? So this is how you can be accountable. First, you admit the delay without making excuses, without coming up with, okay, it was because I had too much on my desk, yada, yada, that's why I was unable to do it, blah, blah, blah. Without giving excuses, you first of all admit, oh, I am sorry. This mistake is from my end. Then another way for you to be accountable is you communicate early. If you are seeing that, okay, this task that I am doing, this project we are working on is choked up and there's no way, no magic I'm going to perform that will be able to help me clear my draft, that will be able to help me meet up to deadline. It is very important you communicate. First of all, as a team member, it's important you communicate to your team leader. See, this thing is not possible to be accomplished within this time. Then also your team member will communicate to management, and maybe if you are working on a client's project, they'll inform the client that, is there a way we can expand this deadline because it's not really working on the team. So communication can actually really go a very long way when you are trying to be accountable. You cannot say, oh, I'm accountable and you did not communicate. That's not being accountable. So when you want to be accountable in your workspace, one of the things that should be in your mind, at the back of your mind always, is ensure you communicate. And while you are trying to communicate, you communicate through the right channel. You communicate through, it's not that, okay, you whispered to a team member. Like there's one thing that my team lead will always tell me. She will say, if it is not written, it is not said. Even if you just blow it through your stand-up, say, oh, we are supposed to submit this thing by 4 p.m. And maybe your team lead say, and you say, oh, it's not possible. We need like 2 extra days. We need extra time to be able to accomplish this thing. And you just whisper it, maybe via phone call, you call your team lead, say, we're unable to meet up with this, blah, blah, blah. We need extra time. The person might just say, it's true. I understand what you're saying. It's true. And it dies there. That thing did not move. It didn't fly. So when you are trying to communicate early, you should also communicate the right way. Like my team lead will say, if it is not written, it is not said. Maybe you say, no, but we discussed this thing. You say, okay, go and show me where we agreed on it. But if it is written, it is said. If it is well communicated, if it's written somewhere, even if it is on Slack, email, or whatever channel it is, as far as it is written, you can always bring it up. But if it's something that is being communicated verbally, somebody can say, oh, you didn't tell me or you told me. So we should also ensure that while we are communicating early, we should also communicate the right way. Have evidence. As you are saying that, okay, you need an extra time to do a project, just like what is in this scenario, to avoid being accused that, oh, you didn't use your time very well, poor time management, you should also ensure you communicate early. Then the next thing is take responsibility of the impact of the delay on the team's projects. Sometimes this delay we're talking about, oh, you couldn't meet up with the projects that we have, you couldn't meet up with deadline, you couldn't meet up with the time. Sometimes you need to take responsibility of the impact. Sometimes your delay might even make you lose a client. Yes, you might say, oh, it's not possible to meet all that. So for you to even take responsibility, first of all, when you are given a task and a deadline, if this is a new task that you've not worked on before, okay, it's understood. You can say, okay, you've not worked on this, you didn't know the margin of how it's going to be. But if it's something you've worked on before and they are telling you that, oh, we have to execute this within the next 30 minutes, and maybe you didn't do it, you have to take responsibility of the impact of that delay. Whatever the impact is, for you to be accountable, you have to just take responsibility that, okay, this is the reason why this happened. You should be responsible at all time. Then I think my time is up because there might be other speakers. Let me just talk about the last thing. The last way you can be accountable is for you to proactively offer solution. Okay, now the deed has been done. You couldn't meet up to your timeline. So what is the next thing you have to do for you to be able to make it up for this thing that has happened, for this delay that has happened? How would you be able to make it up to show that you are actually accountable? First, when you are thinking of this, just put yourself in the situation that if this is my business, if this you are not doing this as a job, as an employee or as a volunteer or whatever, take it that this is my business and now we have missed deadline. How do you adjust this? Proactively think, even before you miss a deadline, within your mind, you already know that it's not possible for this thing to be achieved. So before you even miss that deadline, you should be able to provide solution that, okay, you are telling the client that, oh, we couldn't achieve it at total date, but we ensure that in the next 48 hours or in the next 72 hours, this issue will be resolved. So giving a quick solution can also show a level of accountability. So we should always put this at the back of our mind. In summary of all what I have been saying, I've been speaking for a while now, so I'll just give a summary of everything I have said. Creating a culture of accountability starts with individual actions. For you to, this accountability we are talking about, don't look at your neighbor and say, oh, this person is not accountable, or that person. It should always start with you. You take it upon yourself that, okay, me, what is the example I'm showing? How am I accountable? So we should always put it in our mind that it always starts with us. Then when everyone takes responsibility and acts like an owner, it helps to be more effective. Just imagine in an organization, at the workspace, everybody's taking ownership. Everybody's acting like, oh, this thing is not just a job to me. I'm taking responsibility of this thing. You see that we'll have a more effective workflow. You see that workflow will go smoothly. Unlike when you just leave it and say, oh, whatever happens after all, it's just a job. And if you have that mindset of ownership, or you don't have this mindset of, oh, it's not on my JD, so I'm not pressured, nothing. When you have this accountability mindset, we will become more reliable. Our work will be more effective and empowered. Accountability isn't just all about blame. Sometimes don't always feel that, oh, if I'm always accountable, it seems that, oh, I'm the bad person on the team. No, that even shows that you are having this, how will I put it? You are being reliable when you are always accountable. This doesn't mean, let's not mistake this that, oh, somebody said about communicating, so you don't want to put in the work. Even when I miss my deadline, I will go and communicate. No, you first show that, okay, you are actually working on this thing. you show this, like, you show this taking responsibility that, okay, I'm actually doing this within your own heart, within your conscience. You know that, okay, you are being committed to this project, so that when there is need for you to be accountable for something, it doesn't really feel like, oh, the blame would be on me. So why do I have to be accountable? If I give excuse, the blame will not be on me. For you to have this ownership mindset and to help build the organizational culture, it is very important that we should always be accountable at all times. Also, it helps for commitment to build results and team growth. When we see ourselves having this ownership mindset, it helps to enhance the growth in the team. It helps this team to grow. Everybody knows that, okay, we are putting in the work, we are putting in the effort. And with all this being said, I would just say the most important of all I have said this while is that change begins with you. I'm saying this not to team, I'm saying it to individuals that just know within yourself that in anywhere you find yourself, in any organization, at the workplace, and remember that change begins with you. Whatever you want to see in that organization, whatever you want others to do, it always have to start with you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening to me. So with this being said, I would like to entertain questions. If you have any questions for me regarding what I have said, there's something you feel like, I don't understand this thing, I'm not really clear, you can go ahead and ask questions. And if nobody asks questions, I'm going to pick people and ask them questions. I have questions for you, and I'm going to pick individuals to ask. So if you have any question, you can just go ahead. I think I can give 5 minutes for questions. Is there any question? Okay. So I would just assume that you all don't have questions for me. So I will go ahead and ask my question. And I believe one or two persons will be able to say something. It contributes to this so that we can all learn. I'm also here to learn because we are all working. So I'm going to start with Baba Gimba. Hi, Baba. Can you confirm you can hear me?
Yes, Fejiro, good morning.
Good morning to you, Baba Gimba. Okay, with all this said, I want to ask you this question. Why do you think we should be accountable at our workspace?
It aids overall productivity in the sense that we will have a trail, of what went well and what didn't go well, so that we can able to, refine the things we do well and, adopt the change required towards the things that we aren't doing well. So that's simply, why accountability and as well taking ownership, of work, is important.
Thank you so much, Baba Gimba. This was really insightful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
That's
welcome.
good. I would pick one other person to answer another question. Naomi, good morning. Good morning, Naomi. Kindly confirm you can hear me. Naomi, good morning. Can you hear me? If you are speaking, your mic is off. Hello, Naomi, are you there? I Temiloluwa Naomi. Okay, I think she's not available. I'll pick someone else. Mustafa, good morning. Can you hear me, Mustafa?
Good morning, Pedro. I can hear you.
Oh, thank you, Mustafa. So, Mustafa, I have a question for you, right?
Right.
What do you think could be the reason why people would not want to be accountable for their action?
Well,
Why? In an organization, what could be some of the reasons why people want to shy away from accountability?
sometimes people genuinely think that it is not solely their fault.
Sorry, Mustafa, I can't hear you. I don't know if it's just from my end. I can't hear you.
Okay, how about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I was saying that sometimes people um would fail to take sole responsibility and accountability for their actions based on the fact that they genuinely think that the problem or the fault is not stemming from them alone. They believe other people have a hand in a part of it, so they believe, oh, if everybody's not stepping up to that is a very faulty mindset to have, and it hinders the team's overall progress. And we just need to have more transparency and communication to resolve such matters.
Wow, thank you so much, Mustafa. This was really insightful. I believe a lot of us were learning from what we are all saying as a team, and wow, that was really good. I'll just ask like two more people question, then I'll entertain contribution. I don't know what more time I have left, but I'll just ask two more people question. Then if you have anything to contribute, you can just raise your hand for contribution. I'll go over to Faith with my question. Hi, Faith. Please confirm you can hear me. Faith Sharma. Good morning. Hi, Faith. Good morning. Please confirm you can hear me. Please, whenever we're asked, let's be accountable of turning on our mic, please. Everybody here on this call is taking responsibility in this case now. It's question time. While we're waiting for Faith to turn on her mic, I can see Michael's hand is up. I believe he has a contribution, something to add to it. So just give Michael the room. Hi, Michael. Good morning.
Good morning. I have a question rather.
Okay. You can go ahead with your contribution.
In a situation where maybe the culture has not really been set in stone, and a lot of employees are always scared to maybe hold themselves accountable or come forward to own up for us, maybe like a fault. What can be done maybe by the organization to encourage people and employees to be able to hold themselves accountable?
Okay. I believe during my presentation, I must have touched this a little. So yes, you are saying the culture has not been put in place, probably because you've not maybe firsthand seen somebody taking accountability, right, in your presence, maybe for a fault. You are looking at this person that this thing actually happened because of you. This delay was from your own end, and you didn't see anywhere where the person took accountability. Like what I said when I summarized this topic, I said, change begins with you. Change begins with Federo. If I can be accountable, my team lead is asking me, Federo, you're supposed to be presenting on KD today. Why didn't you show up? And I am accountable. I really explain that, okay, this is the reason. I take responsibility. The next person on my team is surprised that, this girl didn't lie about this thing. She actually said what happened. And it's so that me owning up to that thing actually resolved a issue, or it actually helped to build the culture. The next day, if the person have any reason to be accountable to something, you say the person want to pick it up. So why you don't have to wait for the organization to come and put a gun on our head and say, oh, you have to be accountable at all times. Let it start with you. Let it be a mindset in you that, okay, I can own up to bullshit. Yes, I can own up even when it looks like my life is on the line. I can still own up and take responsibility. I can still own up and acknowledge that this happened because of me. It helps to improve the culture. So in a situation whereby maybe you've not experienced it firsthand, you've not seen somebody owning up, that is where it comes in, that it begins with you. It begins with each and every one of us on this KD section. It begins with us in this organization. So when individuals take responsibility, the whole teams start taking responsibility. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate that. Choma, are you ready for us now? I think I've exhausted the time because most of us will have to still go and attend our stand-up. So I'll be giving it over to the coordinator, Jeremiah. Thank you so much for having me for KD this morning. I really do appreciate the opportunity. I believe you would want to take it up from here. And thank you everyone for joining KD this morning.
All right, thank you very much, Fejiro. That was a very good presentation, highlighting the importance of fostering the culture of accountability and communication within our work. So I hope we all learned a lot. It was very informative. Thank you all, and have a very productive day. See you on Monday.
Please, Jeremiah, can you wait on the call?
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel. Oh, he has dropped off.
Highlighting
I think this might waste time. Let's just talk on WhatsApp, Jeremiah.
All right.
I'll call you on WhatsApp. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.